Hi everyone, welcome to this first episode of the weekly Students Achieve podcast. You can find this podcast online at sascast.wordpress.com, sascast.wordpress.com, or if you just want to view the videos, the YouTube channel is at youtube.com/sascast. This week we're going to talk about three pieces. One is a common question that comes up, and that's the issue of wireless and how to tell if you're actually connected to the internet. As Students Achieve, of course, needs internet access to connect. Then we'll talk a little bit about how to prepare your tasks and get them ready so that next year you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just go back and pull in some of your tasks you did in the previous year. And then lastly, we're going to take a quick look at the so-called three-panel view, the curriculum browser, that will let you see which tasks you've aligned to and how students are performing on each of those tasks. So to get started, there's been a lot of talk recently about the issues with wireless and Students Achieve. And of course, Students Achieve is essentially just a web page. As Google is, as your group-wise webmail is. And for any web page to work, you have to have internet access. And so the issue comes in usually when you're at home, if somebody happens to switch a microwave on or picks up an old-style cordless phone, that can interfere with your wireless connection so that you lose connection between your computer and Students Achieve. Which means that if you hit save and there's no connection between you and the internet, that data that's sitting on your computer has nowhere to go. It is actually really easy to check to see if you are connected. If you're on a Mac, as I am here, if you look up to the top right of your screen, you'll see a little box here that has kind of a whole pile of semicircles. If those are all dark, or if most of them are dark, you are connected to the internet. If they've gone light and the icon has a slash through it, it means you've lost internet connection, and so you don't want to push save until you've regained it. If that happens, do take a quick look to see if somebody's picked up a cordless phone or if your microwave is running. And if that's the case, just hang on, don't push save until your computer has had a chance to reconnect. If you're on Windows, it's a similar process. You can actually look down in the lower right-hand corner and you'll see an icon that looks like this. If that icon is clear like this, or if it's blinking, you're good to go. If that icon has a little X through it, it means you've lost internet connection, and again, you just need to wait until whatever's interrupting your wireless connection is switched off before pressing save. And that's true of any web application, including your group-wise email. Another common question that I've had is it possible, with all this work that I'm putting in this year in terms of creating my tasks in Students Achieve, posting those tasks to my grade book and of course marking them, aligning them to curriculum, putting large volumes of description, maybe attaching some files. Is there a way that I can pull those back next year so that I don't have to reinvent the wheel? The answer to that question is yes. And you'll notice that up at the top of the screen, and you can see I've got the guest account, so this is a 2007-2008 account, so it doesn't interfere with real data. But you'll notice that in your little course selector, you do have a choice of not only what class that you're teaching, but also what year you're looking at. And so if I open this up, you'll see where it says school year / track. Of course, right now all I have is the current year. So for this sample class, it's 2007-2008. For your classes, it'll be 2010-2011. Next year, when you click that same box, you'll actually have two to choose from. The 2010-2011 as well as a 2011-2012. What that means is that you have the ability, just like you can copy a task from one person to another person if you're sharing that class, You can copy from last year to this year all of your tasks so that you don't have to reinvent, you don't have to recreate those pieces. In the long run, that can save you lots of time. It also adds some value to spending the time to build those tasks with as much detail as you can. Likewise, if you haven't added a lot of detail, but you want to add detail or change these next year, once of course you've copied it into your class, you can go ahead and make those changes. A third common question I receive is how do I track how my students are doing? Is there a way that I can globally find out how my students are performing through the term? And if you look on the Students Achieve Moodle site, there is more information on this under 3-panel view. However, just as a quick way to get into it, what you can actually do is if you look up at the top, there's a button that says Plan right here. If I push that button, I don't have a lot of choices, just one for Classroom. And if I click Classroom, I can go down to this button at the bottom that says Browse Curriculum. When I click that button, it'll take me to the Program of Studies, the same curriculum browser that you would normally go to if you were aligning curriculum. So right now I'm looking at an English Language Arts class, so I'm just going to go into ELA and find out for grade 1 how the students are doing relative to those outcomes. And so you can see here that I've got a list of my 5 general outcomes, and I can actually go deeper into each one. But if I look off to the right, you'll see that each one has a View Curriculum Report button. So if I click on the View Curriculum Report for GO1, it's going to take me to a screen where it's going to ask me, do I want to look at summative? Do I want to look at formative? I'm going to say yes to everything. And I'm just going to go View Report. In a couple of seconds, Students Achieve churns, and I have a new window that pops up. And you can see that I'm looking at General Outcome 1. Within General Outcome 1, it tells me that I have aligned to 4 out of the 7 outcomes. Within General Outcome 1, there's actually 2 categories, Discover and Explore, Clarify and Extend. You can see that I've aligned to 3 things within Discover and Explore, and only 1 thing within Clarify and Extend. If I'd like to get more details, I can do that simply by clicking either one of the View Task Alignment buttons, which will take me to a screen that shows which tasks have aligned to which outcomes, or View Student Results, where I can get a quick snapshot of how my students are doing relative to those outcomes. So for example, if I click this now, I get a screen that shows me for every outcome which tasks have assessed that outcome, and ultimately how the students have done relative to those tasks. So for example, identify shape and color. You can see on my big grid the students got beginning for General Outcome 1 under Combine Ideas. This can be a useful report for parent-teacher interviews as well as tracking how your students are doing. It's also in all of these reports you have the ability to create by just selecting this this button here that says select a format. I can create a PDF file for printing, an Excel file for tracking in my own spreadsheet, a web archive if that's useful for communicating maybe through a Moodle, or even just a picture file, a TIFF file. So there's been 3 tips to help you with Students Achieve. Next week we'll post another 2 or 3 more. The intent is that this can be used with staff meetings or just for individual teachers to use as a place to browse and get more information. If you'd like more information, feel free to go to the website, sascast.wordpress.com. This is also available on the Students Achieve Moodle page, moodle.fsd38.ab.ca, and of course click the Students Achieve link in the top right corner. If you have anything you'd like me to talk about in this podcast, please feel free to drop me an email, and I'll make sure to address those when I record the next session next week. Until next week, this is Doug.